Our top story now. The majority of the UN General Assembly has adopted a non-binding resolution that piles more pressure on the Syrian president to step down. Russia was among those who voted against the motion. Moscow maintains the conflict should be solved through a gradual political transition led by the Syrian people. Marina Portnaya has the latest now from New York.
This is very much a symbolic kind of message on the part of the international stage, because you have an overwhelming majority of the UN members in the General Assembly supporting a resolution that essentially endorses the Arab League plan, which calls for Syrian President Bashar al-Assad to step down. It also condemns Syrian authorities for violating human rights, fundamental freedoms, and using force against civilians. It also calls for UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon to appoint an envoy to Syria. This text resolution condemns Syrian authorities. Now, the reason 12 countries did not support this resolution is because they argue it's unbalanced.
In order to resolve the Syrian crisis, there's a need to uphold principles to which no one seems to object. The violence must be stopped by all sides, and necessary solutions can only be found through an inclusive political process led by the Syrians themselves. Today's Arab League draft resolution on the situation in the Syrian Arab Republic does not meet these criteria. To a large extent, it reflects the worrying trend that causes us concern to attempt to isolate the Syrian leadership, reject contact with it, and impose an external formula for political settlement.
Russia has in the past, of course, offered to facilitate a dialogue between Syrian officials and representatives of the opposition groups to host those negotiations in Moscow. But now, where you see the majority of the international community standing behind a plan that calls for President Assad to step down, the opposition groups will most likely not be running to a negotiation table.